Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the campaign show on this momentous day in American history. The railroading of President Donald Trump continues. Reportedly, Donald Trump has said that he's one indictment away from ensuring his re-election as his popularity continues to surge amid the legal witch hunt against him. And if he's going to be the Republican nominee, if he's going to make it through this very difficult process of all these communist radicals coming at him through the judicial system, through the legal system, he cannot rely this time on Con Inc. media, on conservative professional media. Since my appearance on the Stu Peters Show, I've been getting a lot of inquiries regarding, yet again, my historic scoop, breaking the Ashley Biden diary during the 2020 election. I broke it. I broke it at National File, where it is still preserved, and I consider that to be a victory, that it is still up on the internet lawfully, and people can read it. And so it's very interesting now that conservative media, as always, is trying not to say my name, or if they have to say my name, they just disparage me in some way. But yet, I gave the information to this world. The information is out there. They're getting it from National File, which is the host of the diary. So really, I win. And yes, it's true, Project Veritas did try to cover up the diary. Project Veritas, which is a Zionist organization, did try to cover up that story. They did not break it. They were in charge of covering it up. Yes, it's true that Matthew Rat Tierman was intricately involved, according to a source, in the efforts to cover up that story. And we'll have more information on that, by the way. And yes, it's true that James O'Keefe did personally hide the tape of Ashley Biden confirming that it was her diary. So while I broke the story, got into millions of views in the last days of that election, and Lynn Wood, who is on Trump's legal team, shared it. I did an emergency broadcast with Alex Jones to get that information out there. Project Veritas was actually subversive and in charge of trying to shut down that story. And I got two of the most famous people in the world to personally pressure James O'Keefe, including someone who's been extremely influential in James O'Keefe's career behind the scenes, to get James O'Keefe to release that tape. He refused to do it. Furthermore, James O'Keefe later went on Hannity and lied and said that he could not, that Project Veritas could not authenticate the diary, even though he was in possession of and was actually hiding the tape of Ashley Biden confirming it. After a lot of pressure from myself over the years, and from recently from Stu Peters as well, and some other things that, that some other pressure that's been applied to Project Veritas, finally that tape has been released. There is no longer any question whatsoever that I was right all along. I deserve a Pulitzer Prize. I hope Maggie Haberman gives hers back. And, I followed the law. I followed the First Amendment. I tried to be like my heroes, Bob Novak and Julian Assange. James O'Keefe used to be one of my heroes, not anymore. But I do hope that now he's at O'Keefe Media Group. He's away from Project Veritas because Tierman led a coup to throw him out, right? Ousted him. I hope that next time James does not make that same very, very bad mistake, but that when the chips are on the line, you see how those organizations work, right, on the conservative side. And I'm not starting a beef. I'm not starting a rap feud, nothing like that. I'm just telling people exactly what happened. So we all know that this diary is authentic, and we can get to the real story. Enough of these process pieces. We can get to the real story. What happened in those daddy-daughter showers between Joe Biden and Ashley Biden? Why has Ashley Biden spent her whole life having resentment for her father, as she described in the diary? She described resentment for him at one point in her life, and then has spent much of her life being traumatized by her childhood, and that's very clear. And so I just want to make that clear, that regardless of what you may think about me, I am the running back who got through the defense, and I got that ball into the end zone, and you can still and always read that diary at nationalfile.com, and it will really show you a lot about the Biden family and what goes on there, and the trauma that this person, Ashley Biden, has been through. And people on all sides really need to look at this and say, that's the guy who they call the President of the United States. It's disturbing. So I hope people really focus on the real story. And it was all just a work of God, really. And hopefully she will heal, too. I've always said that. I want her to heal because she's a survivor, too, of that family. And we're all dealing with that family now. Hunter and the laptop and the rest of them. Oh, my goodness. The Chinese deals. Meanwhile, they've got this Kamala Harris lady out there cackling. Let's see what this is like her please clap moment. Remember, Jeb Bush was so pathetic. Low energy Jeb. He was like, please clap. Now Kamala has a please clap moment, and then she cackles like a witch.
Yeah, go ahead and clap. I don't want to step on the applause.
The Lion King did it better.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and clap. Unbelievable. Well, even CNN's legal analyst is questioning whether this Fannie Willis person is, the right person to prosecute DJT. Let's take a look at Fannie. Let's take a look at Fannie.
I have to point out, she has intermixed her own political fortunes with this case in a way that I think is going to backfire significantly against her.
Because of her past statements?
A couple of things. First of all, she's already been thrown off a piece of this case because she subpoenaed a Republican candidate for office and then hosted a fundraiser for his Democratic opponent. The judge threw her off that part of the case and said, quote, what were you thinking? Second of all, she's used her own subpoenas in this case. She subpoenaed Lindsey Graham. Then she recirculated a cartoon, a political cartoon, making fun of Lindsey Graham as part of a political fundraising effort.
Yeah,
she's also made inappropriate public statements giving her opinion that this is a criminal case when the grand jury has not voted on yet.
Meanwhile, the fulfillment of the grand jury in Georgia that is poised to indict Trump down in Georgia over another thing. As they're indicting him in D.C. over the election. Oh, the election. He's a conspiracy election guy. I mean, these people are just, just writing up these ridiculous indictments and prosecutions. And meanwhile, in Georgia, this is actually the forewoman of the grand jury poised to indict President Donald Trump.
Personally want to hear from the former president. I wanted to hear from the former president, but honestly, I kind of wanted to subpoena the former president.
She's got the crazy
I got to
eyes.
swear everybody in. And so I thought
I don't want to look into him.
To get 60 seconds
I'm already
suck out your soul.
Of me looking at him and being like, do you solemnly swear? And me getting to swear him in. I kind of just thought that would be an awesome moment.
Why have you done this to me, Patrick?
What is going on with this very, very sinister woman? I mean, is this who brings down the Republic, ultimately? Is this lady? I mean, it's not like they're sending a samurai or something. At least give me the honor of having some kind of skilled, operative, surround me and, send ninjas at me or something. Something that something befitting, the respect of an opponent. But the American Republic is going to be potentially taken down by this lady. Let's take a look at her on CNN.
When it comes to there are indictments recommended, of course. Is it more than 12?
Don't look into her eyes. Don't look at them.
People?
I think if you look at the page numbers of the report, there's about 6 pages in the middle that got cut out. Allow for spacing. It's not a short list.
Not a short list. More, when it comes to 75 witnesses...
Why so serious?
It's not, I assume, of course, it's
right.
not 75 people. Would you characterize it as 20-ish people?
I can't say I counted.
Okay. More than a dozen.
Oh my goodness. See, I have warned you. I have warned you about a certain character type in our society, in our body politic. Okay? The Maddow Facebook cat ladies. Oh, you thought that wasn't so serious. Oh, you thought I was being asinine. Pat, aren't there more important problems? Aren't there more important issues in the world? World hunger, war, famine, etc. Aren't there loftier, objects of your scorn in politics? And I said all along, do not underestimate the power of the Maddow cat food eating, box wine drinking, insane Facebook ladies. They're forming a coalition. They're organizing. They're radicalizing. Okay? The cat ladies are being radicalized. They've been radicalized. And it's disturbing for everyone. A, because they're mostly extremely low IQ, so they don't know really what they're talking about. B, they're insane. Okay? And C, they hate men because they haven't been so successful with men, because the men see the crazy eyes and they're like, why is there cat food stacked everywhere? I'm getting out of here. Right? So I'm not saying particularly that person is part of that, but certainly, you get some energy, you get some vibes. Like, I told you, I warned you. So President Donald Trump, here's the good thing to remember, though. The people who don't like President Donald Trump, the people who are against President Donald Trump, are not very bright. And to illustrate that point, here is the Reverend Al Sharpton.
One day, our children's children will read American history. And can you imagine our reading that James Madison or Thomas Jefferson tried to overthrow the government so they could stay in power? That's what we're looking at. We're looking at American history.
Who could imagine the Founding Fathers overthrowing a government?
Who could imagine Picasso making art?
Very strange. And, you know, they were really riled up about that tea. And by the way, I'm still a little pissed off about that tea tax. If there are any Brits watching, that one, still mad about it, really. How dare they? How dare they tax that tea?
Honestly.
Unbelievable behavior. Meanwhile, in modern America, there's a certain phenomenon that we've been chronicling here on the show called Walmart fights. A lot of Walmart fights. We have different theories for why this is. I blame the fluorescent lighting mostly. But also the Hunger Games kind of geopolitical situation that most people find themselves in. I think the Walmart is kind of like the modern hunting and gathering. You know what I mean? It's like, this is where I go to get my sustenance. And then people at Walmart see others as competitors, right? But in this clip, this most recent Walmart fight that we're showing here, it looks as though one of them is wearing a blue vest and appears to be an employee. And that's a big trend, actually, in these kinds of fights, is the employees joining in on the fights. Let's take a look. Let's watch this Walmart fight.
Yeah, damn Walmart, baby. And he get paid in Walmart.
The lady in the mask doesn't seem too concerned.
That back get paid in you.
Ooh. You don't like to see it. You don't like to see it. So if you go into Walmart, just be aware. Oftentimes employees join in the combat. You really need to know mixed martial arts fighting techniques just for self-defense, because you don't want to, obviously don't start a Walmart fight, but if there is a Walmart fight, you know, I mean, I think a lot of people have witnessed it at this point, in addition to looting and various other things, as society just basically circles the drain, I would say. But there's so much hope for the anti-establishment. You know why? Because there are brave truth tellers out there. There are brave truth tellers. There are people who go against the grain and try to warn others about what's really going on. Like our heroine on this show in recent weeks, the lady on the plane talking about the guy who wasn't real, and she has inspired this artwork.
They can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two fucks, but I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real. And you can...
She tried to warn us. Did we listen? Did we listen to that plaintive voice on the plane?
If only.
About the guy who wasn't real? You know who a lot of people are who aren't real? Professional conservative journalists. But I'm a great running back as a truth journalist. There's always a defensive line. The defensive line, you got like Zuckerberg, you got like Whoopi Goldberg, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got like, I don't know, who else? Who else is like a guy? The CIA, you know, the FBI, the Biden administration, various normies and masks. I don't like conspiracy theories, the Today Show, etc. I mean, you get the idea. Pretty big defensive line, right? So what we have to do is go through the holes that are opened up through us by our offensive linemen in the truth movements, people who really help us out and help us to get the truth out there. And the people who work with me over the years, the ones who I've chosen to work with, have all been very kind to me. The ones who I didn't choose to work with oftentimes have like led whole efforts against me and stuff like this. But I'm in a good place now, and I do want to say with regard to the Ashley Biden diary, I'm very, very happy that I was able to be a conduit of God and help to expose creepy Joe Biden. The story is what's in the diary, and you can read it exclusively at nationalfile.com. And because of these kinds of stories, and there's always so much hullabaloo going on in my life, we have, a pretty popular show here. People really dig this show. Band.video, Cozy.tv, Twitter, and Instagram. And we also have a sponsor, Vanish Gun Holsters, and I'm going to sell you a gun holster right now. Here we are. Christian gun owners should be aware of an unfortunate trend that is putting people in danger. Millions of concealed carrying gun owners have made a huge mistake with their holster. Sadly, their holster is so uncomfortable that they've stopped using it. Maybe you've experienced this problem with uncomfortable holsters. If you have an uncomfortable holster and you don't use it, then your quest to defend yourself or others fails right out of the gate. That's why Vanish holsters are quickly becoming one of the most popular holsters in America. Thousands of customers say that it's the most comfortable holster ever, and when you get one, you'll never stop carrying. This holster also saves you money. That's because it fits 99% of all semi-auto handguns, works without a tactical belt, lets you carry in multiple positions, and it carries 2 fully loaded magazines. And best of all is that because you're a viewer of the campaign show, you can get it for $50 off. Just go to vnsh.com/Patrick to see if your gun will work with it and to activate your discount today. It's normally $130. Since you watch the campaign show, you will get a $50 discount at vnsh.com/Patrick. The Lord is my helper. I shall not fear. What can man do to me? And I think that ultimately we are all engaged in a battle with fear. And if I can teach the young people anything from my experiences in truth journalism and investigative journalism, it is damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. I don't have a whole lot of wisdom. I'm not going to give you like some whole TED talk here. Just go and be awesome and get the truth out there and defeat the bad guys.
Amen.
And I'll be here on Monday on the campaign show. I'll see you then.